Shabbat Shalom and Moadim L'Simcha. Very nice, that's right. The traditional response to Moadim L'Simcha, meaning these appointed days, this holiday of joy, Moadim L'Simcha, we say Chagim Uzmanim L'Sason, holidays, times of joy as well. So on this Shabbat, in the middle of Sukkot, just as we're finally ready to celebrate after the solemnity of the high holidays, we read from the book of Kohelet, Ecclesiastes. Havel Havalim, Kohelet announces in chapter 1, utter futility, all is futile. He tells us that we and all of our efforts are ephemeral as vapor. We hear echoes of the Unatana Tokef prayer reminding us that all we are is dust in the wind. Kohelet is sometimes known as the resident nihilist of the Tanakh, questioning whether there's any lasting purpose or significance or any meaning to all human achievement. He asks, what real value is there for a person in all the gains they make under the sun? One generation goes, another comes. The most memorable words of Kohelet are those that were famously set to music by Pete Seeger in the 1950s. So let us turn to those words to see if they offer us something more than nihilism and gloom. L'kol zman ve'et l'chol chefetz tachat hashamayim. To everything there is a season and a time for every experience under heaven, Kohelet teaches. According to tradition, King Solomon wrote the book of Kohelet when he was an old man. This book speaks from the end of life, offering a quiet, hard-won wisdom. Eit laledet ve'eit lamut, eit latat ve'eit la'akor natua, eit laharog ve'eit lirpo, eit lifrot ve'eit livnot, eit livkot ve'eit livshkot, eit sefod ve'eit rekod. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to seek, a time to lose, a time to keep, a time to let go. Set forth here is the complete arc of human life, all-encompassing, all-embracing, every experience without judgment. Times of celebration and times of sorrow, times of love and exaltation where we felt on top of the world, times when the bottom fell out from under us. Times of growth, times of development, times when everything fell apart or slipped away, times of loss and separation, times of letting go even when we desperately wanted to keep holding on. Kohelet has known all of it. He tells us to expect all of it, for these are the times and the seasons of a normal human life. So the first lesson we learn from this book is that sadness and disappointment are not aberrations. There are no charmed lives. Sooner or later, sorrow comes to everyone. Why do we read Kohelet on Sukkot? Perhaps because Sukkot is called Chag HaAsif, the festival of gathering. It's the time of year when the harvest has ended and the crops are gathered and stored for the coming year. Kohelet is reflecting on a life spent gathering possessions, wisdom, relationships, and experiences. He's taking stock and looking back on his personal harvest. While he seems pessimistic and cynical at times, his fundamental message is wise and affirming. How should we face life's unpredictability and our own profound vulnerability? He tells us, grasp joy and fulfillment however and whenever we can. This is not a message about hedonism or amassing luxury possessions. Kohelet tells us to find happiness in simple, everyday things. Go eat your bread in gladness, he says. Drink your wine in joy. Enjoy happiness with a person you love all the fleeting days of life that have been granted to you under the sun. Whatever it is in your power to do, do it with all your might. Essentially, Kohelet tells us, don't waste your life yearning for what you can't have. Enjoy the blessings of life fully. Savor them. Find joy in them. Treasure them. Even small amounts of happiness and pleasure while you can. As we sit in our Sukkot, whose structure is symbolic of our shared vulnerability, may we remember Kohelet's words. Let's take time to appreciate the natural beauty around us. a bright-colored bird in our backyard, the smile of a good friend, the taste of delicious food, or a cup of good coffee. While there may not be anything new under the sun, we can appreciate anew the gentle warmth of the sun each day we are privileged to enjoy it.